Hello there my old friends. Thanks a million again for clicking on my video. I hope you're all fit and healthy, that's the main thing. And thanks for all the subs, much appreciated. I have something to say to you in a minute. First of all, I'll just run through last night's video. I had 7 nice winners. I had 4 at Wetherby and 3 at Leopardstown. The 4 at Wetherby was 15 days, 7 to 4, 12 to 1 shot, finished third, that's 3 to 1. And in the 5:15, I had number 1 as 11 to 2. Right, we'll mosey on. Leopardstown. The first race, the 5:30, 6 to 1 winner. Second race, 6 o'clock, number 1, 9 to 1 winner. I didn't want to back it in the third race. I told you that in the video. I done an forecast. I think it ended up 4 runners or something like that. But anyway, the fourth race, the 7 o'clock at Leopardstown, 10 to 1 winner. So that's 7 winners again, lads. That's 7 winners again. Now, I picked out 2 meetings for tomorrow. FAIRYHOUSE, 8 races, and EPSOM, 8 races. I told you 7 or 8 videos back I was going to stick to 2 meetings a day. Now talk about the horses, their form, everything about them, their sires, their sisters, their mothers, their brothers, who fed them this morning. Right, we're not into all that. That kind of thing is for professional tipsters. I'm just a lad sitting at home in his house talking into his phone. I can't even afford to fucking back a horse myself. So I hope some of you are backing these horses. Because I looked up the stats today for the first time, right? Now there's lads on YouTube, hundreds of lads, so hundreds of different people on YouTube that are charging 30, 40, 50 euros a month for all those professional tips, right? Which fair play, I have nothing against them. But answer me this, right? And put it in the comments below if you know. I done my stats today, right? Put it in the comments below if you know anybody that's had 56 winners in the last 10 days. That's what I've picked out of my last 10 videos. 56 winners. And some of them are very, very big prizes. I don't think any professional tipster can pick out 5 or 6 winners a day like that for free. I'm not even monetized. I don't care about fucking money. Right? It's kind of killing me that I can't back a few myself, to be honest with you. But that's a different story. Right. Enough now licking my own tennis balls. But try and find out if you can. Is there any tipster on YouTube that's making 1 video a day and gave 56 winners in the last 10 days? Guarantee there's not. Right, stop blowing your trumpet now, Kenny. We're going to FAIRYHOUSE. There's one more thing I want to say to you, and I only hopped it today, looking back in a few of my videos. I keep doing that for some reason. See, I'm not used to speaking into the camera properly, into the phone. And that's just a pure habit. Do you know what I mean? I does it every couple of minutes, but sure, look, fuck it. What can I do? I get used to it sometime. Right, the first race at FAIRYHOUSE is the 4:20. Tough racing tomorrow, lads. Now Fairyhouse is good. EPSOM could be an absolute disaster. So I went for a lot of big prices tomorrow at EPSOM. Now how the going is good in Fairyhouse I don't know. It's just piss and rain all week. But anyway, we'll try our hand again. Right, the 420. First race at Fairyhouse. I went for number 7. Telegraph Road. Nathan Cross for John O'Donoghue. 7-1 each way. Right? So 4 to 5 favourite in the race. Race number 2 at Fairyhouse, the 455. Hold on to yourself now for 1 sec. Geez lads, the weather's awful, isn't it, in all fairness? For the start of June. 455, I went for 2 horses. The 6 to 4 favourite in the race. Now this lad pulled off the triple today, the trainer and jockey, these 2 lads. And I think I had 2 of them in my tips. I definitely had 1 of them. But hold on now, number 6. Yeah, Gary Carl and Ger Lyons. Krasimir. Now you know I can't pronounce the words properly. Number 6 anyway. He's 3 to 1 second favourite as far as I know. Yep, number 6, 3 to 1. And then I went for an absolute banger in the same race. The 455. I went for number 7. Ocean Echo. Paddy Hartnett and M. Fahy. 28 to 1 each way. Get on them, boys. These big winners are starting to come in for me. And I'm no tipster, you know that. Third race is the 530 at Fairyhouse. I very randomly, if I don't fancy it, I have to go for the favourite. So I'm going for number 2. County Carlow, Billy Lee. For Paddy Toomey, sorry. That's the third race, number 2, the favourite. County Carlow. The 4th race at Fairyhouse is at 6 o'clock. And I've gone for another favourite. Gary Carl again. And I bet you it is Jared Lyons. Yes, it is. Lads, I was told this 20 years ago. Follow stables and jockeys while you're in form. Back everything until they get out of form. That's a good tip by itself. Now remember, like I say in all my videos, gamble responsibly, only bet what you can afford, and never ever chase your money, because you'll end up in the doghouse. You won't have an underpants on you. I lost my underpants 20 years ago. Still can't find it. Anyway, where are we? The 6 o'clock. Yeah, I went for number 3. How'd you do it? I don't know how I do it, to be honest with you. But anyway, he's 6 to 4 favourites. That's number 3 in the 6 o'clock. The 5th race is the 634. I've gone for 2 in this. I've gone for number 4. I'm Spartacus. This lad owes me a winner all the week. Aidan McGuinness. Number 4. I'm Spartacus. He's 5 to 1. I'll just double check that for you now. Yep, 5 to 1 second fav. And then I went for number 9. I love these big handicaps. You know, if you watch the last 10 or 15 videos, I always pick out 2 horses. I went for number 9 in the same race. Jampaling. Sounds Chinese, Jampaling. Paddy Hartnett again. for KP Cotter. He's getting a good few winners, lads. He's getting a good few winners. He's 20 to 1. They're all open races tomorrow, especially at Fairyhouse and EPSOM. Right? That's number 4 and number 9 in the 434. We'll mosey on to the 6th race to Fairyhouse, which is the 709. And I have one wrote down here, number 11. Noble Honour. Another stable hitting Savage Farm. Shane Foley for Jessica Harrington. I met Jessie a few times, to be honest with you. And you all know by my previous videos, Joseph O'Brien is living next door to me, and I worked for his father, Aidan, for years. So that's where I got that text. Don't forget that horse for tomorrow in the Oaks, that I gave in last night's video. You have a great chance. Get to him in a minute when I get to EPSOM. The 709, race number 6. Yeah, sorry, I'm after giving you that. 5 to 2, Noble Honour. Right, we'll move on to the 7th race. The 744. I've picked out 2 again. I've picked out number 8, which is the favours. 6 to 4 favours. Sweet Baby Zoo. Joey Sheridan and my neighbour, geez, that's I just mentioned him. Joseph O'Brien, he's getting some winners. He's getting some winners. And I think Joseph, that'll be in tomorrow night's video. I think Joseph's going to win the Derby Saturday. We'll see. That's number 8, 6 to 4, and I went for number 9, Cookaloo Hill, Siobhan Rutledge. She drew a few winners for M. Flannery. 25 to 1 each way. Remember, lads and ladies, only bet what you can afford. I said it during the week. If you don't know, lucky 63, a small lucky 63 on all the big price horses that I'm giving. You can't lose. I proved it in last night's video. If you put a tenner on every single race that I give you, you'll nearly triple your money. Now, all that form could come to a halt. I could start putting blanks. Do you know what I mean? Which I didn't do in a long time. That's what my ex told me. But I could start putting blanks in my videos, but I'm going to keep to my word. I promised you I'd make one video every evening. Like I said, I don't back on myself. Probably one a week. Can't afford it. Anyway, sorry. The 819. I went for 2 horses. Number 5, Coppercraft, for Billy the Kid, Billy Lee. Billy the Kid is the other fella. Billy Lee for Ray Oliver. Billy should be getting a lot more winners lately than he's getting. He's up on some good horses. But anyway, he's 11 to 4 favours. I also went for number 17 in the same race. The last race at Fairyhouse. Swift Charm. Now, in a big handicap, 16 runners or more, they mightn't all run, but I says this in every video. I love to see a 0, 0, 7, 0, 0, 0, whatever, and then a 3 or a 4. The horses have to run into form. So the second horse in the last race at Fairyhouse is number 17, Swift Charm, for Gavin Ryan and W. Crawford. Now think of that form, lads. 000703. Right? And the horse is only 9-1. Swift Charm. Right, I'm after blowing the head off you long enough now. Hold on to yourself. We'll move over to EPSOM. And this meeting is an absolute lottery tomorrow. What are we, 15 minutes in? Don't worry about it. Think of all the winners I'm banging out, lads. Free. All free tips. 56 winners in 10 days. If I had money and I was backing. Jesus said stop. The first race at EPSOM tomorrow, the 130, is a 5 furlong dash. Where are we? Hold on. And I've gone for 2 in this again. 16 run a handicap. I loved going for the 2. I've gone for number 6. Nana's Shadow. Oisin Murphy for K. Scott. He's 6-1. I also went for number 14. Alpha Duplicates. Duplicates. I'll get all these words right in one video some night. Don't worry about that. Sylvester de Souza for Ivan. He's 12-1. So that's number 6 and 14 in the first race at EPSOM. I went through this card for hours this evening. I'm recording this now at 10:40 on Thursday evening. Trying to find horses that'll handle the soft ground tomorrow at EPSOM. Unbelievable. Anyway, the 205. The second race. I've gone for number 2. One of my favourite jockeys. Seffi Osborne for P. Evans. Dandy Man Dan. That's Dandy Man Dan. Now the favourite Cupistis race for Clifford Lee. But I went for number 2. He's 8-1. 15-2, 8-1. So that's number 2 in the second race. Third race at EPSOM tomorrow. Friday the 5th of June. It's the 240. And just the one here. This is a hard race, lads. Persica could be anything. But we have to go by the ground. So I went for number 1. I went through all these races for hours, lads, like I told you. Very hard to find. I don't know, stop. Boiling Point. Boiling Point. Clifford Lee for Carl Burke. Burke have 2 horses in the race. It's 8 runners declared. 11-2. That's number 1. 11-2 each way. Into 240. The fourth race is the 315. And I've gone for 2 here. Now here's where it gets interesting. The last 4 races. I've absolutely screechers picked out. Screechers. The 315 at EPSOM. I've gone for number 1. I went through this race for so long. And I just thought of what a bloke said to me years ago about the all-weather. If you get stuck between too many horses, especially in the all-weather, always go for number 1, the top weight. So the first horse I went for is Liberty Lane. Jack Nichols for Carl Burke again. Jack Nichols, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. No, that's Jack Nicholson. Don't mind me, lads, I'm off to drink. Number 1 is 14-1. And then I went for number 11 in the same race. So make sure I'm up to date. Hold up. 3:15. Yeah, I went for number 11, which was the first horse. Do you know when a horse just jumps out at you? This is what happened to me with this race. But the more you go through the form, the more you're put off. But I said I'd stick to him. Owls Tune Loon. That's me. Owls Tune Loon. Tune Loon. I'm some fucking loon. That's number 11. 12 to 1 each way. Kieran Schumacher for Tom Dascom. Struttering again, Kenny. There's a lovely big group one. We move on to the 4 o'clock, the big race. The biggie racy for tomorrow, which is the tip I gave you last night that I got in a text. Now, back at your peril, it's completely up to you. I just told you the story, I got a text. There's nobody seems to fancy Amelia Earhart since she went missing in the plane that time. But do you reckon she didn't go missing at all? It was all planned. Do you remember that? I knows me homework, lads. I'm going to stick to the horse I gave you last night that I got word for. And O'Brien is notorious for outsiders. Sorry. I'm going to stick to me tip. Sugar Island. Sugar Island. That's number 7 in the Oaks. 22 to 1. Back at your peril. I think 3 or 4 horses have a chance, but O'Brien will definitely win it. There's no doubt about that. 4 o'clock, where am I going? Hold on to yourself now. I'm roaming. Yeah, I just picked out the one in that number 7. 9 runners. The 6th race at Epsom is the 440. And I've gone for 2 in this. One is a fucking screecher. An absolute screecher, lads. I've gone for number 4. I'll take that back. I've gone for number 12. Billy the Kid. Billy Lochnan. I was watching George, I can never pronounce his name. George Bowie. George Bowie. So easy. Number 12. Cellaborn. I think he's right up there with the favourites. He's 4 to 1 favourites. You know me by now, lads. Take no notice of my speech. I'll get there eventually. So number 12 is 4 to 1 favourites. And then this is where the screecher comes in. I picked out number 14. Again, I went through this race for ages, like just to find something that even liked the soft ground. Jason Watson for D. O'Mara, and if I scroll down, I believe David O'Mara won it last year. He sure did with Rushing Murphy. But number 14 is Walsingham. Walsingham. That's number 14 in the 440. You waiting for it? 50 to 1. 50 to 1. Get on them each way, lads. 2 races to go. Hold on to yourself now for 1 second. I'm getting another swig of this water. By the way, like I told you at the start of the week, I'm giving up the drink and I'm doing well. I'm doing well and I'm going to stick to it. There's nothing to do with the video, but I just said I'd mention it because it's not easy. The 5:15 at Epsom. I just went for the one in this. Another impossible race. I went for number 6. 10 Carrots Harry. Seffi Osborne again. Right. 8 to 1 each way. The reason I went for this, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I think I told you in one of my videos. Fast forward if you want. 10 Carrots Harry. My youngest son is called Harry, 10 years of age. My oldest child is 35 and her name is Mary, right? Let me just get this right now before I make a fool of myself. Yeah, the dam. I didn't know whether it's the side or the dam. The dam is Go On Mary. And the name of the horse is 10 Carrots Harry. Right, I'll tell you a quick story. I think I said it. I'll go through it fast. Go back 20 years ago. There was no fancy phones, laptops, fucking whatever. You look at the paper every Saturday. It was the Saturday of the Welsh National. There was about 9 or 10 meetings on in Ireland and England. I was flicking through all the meetings. I had 4 kids at the time. This is well before Harry, my youngest. First horse I picked out hit me in the face, Contrary Mary. So I wrote down the horse. Then I came across a horse called Little Sean, 14 to 1. Contrary Mary was 8 to 1. Wrote down Little Sean. Then I came to Lady Rachel, 7 to 1. So true as God, sure as my mother was over in the cemetery. And the 4th horse, I was waiting on. I was backing him anyway. Do you remember a horse called Young Kenny? He was running the Welsh National that Saturday, that day. But it just so happens, I found 4 horses running in the same day with the names of my 4 kids, right? Anybody in my little town of Carrick will tell you this. I went down and I done a Euro Lucky 15 on the 4 horses. 14 to 1, 8 to 1, 7 to 1. And I'm 1000% sure Young Kenny was 6 to 1 favourite for the National. Went back home, that's what you done back then, watched them on the telly, chilled out on a Saturday. Sorry now I'm babbling on, but you don't get stories like this too often, believe me. The first winner was Little Sean. He won in Cork. Little Sean was 14 to 1, right? He was the only one I think I picked out in Ireland. Little Sean. Great start on my Lucky 15. Contrary Mary won, 8 to 1. Now a Euro Lucky 15, right? Next, the 3rd one came in, Lady Rachel, at 7 to 1. Fucking hell, lads, I'll tell you one thing. I'm sure it was around 4 o'clock, the Welsh National that day. I three of the kids' names, waiting on Young Kenny. And all I was planning to back that day was Young Kenny. I backed him a load of times. I never lost on him, any time I backed him. He was a great horse, if you remember him. So I was on a serious race. I was sitting down. It was funny enough, the 4 kids were in the house the same day. My ex was there. And I was waiting on this horse for a Lucky 15, a Euro Lucky 15. So the race came on anyway on the telly, the Welsh National. Jumped off. I'm sure it was 2 circuits. Can't remember where it was, what meeting it was. 1000% was the Welsh National. But That's some sweat lads to have, right? Waiting on the one horse for a lucky 15. 14 to 1, 8 to 1, 7 to 1, and waiting on the 6 to 1. And the woman running the bookies below was shitting herself. Because I was told they were 2 days later, I would have closed them down. They're only small bookies here in Carrick. Finnegan's. I would have closed them down, right? Sitting up in the house anyway, after the first circus, he was still on the bridle, young Kenny. Can't even remember who rode him or trained him. That's scandalous. But if you're all horsey people, you remember the horse and you remember the trainer. It was a good 20 years ago. Coming up to 4 hours, he had 3 horses ahead of him, still on the bridle, right? I started screaming at the television. Next, the kids started screaming. They knew there was big money coming into the house. And the woman was licking her lips. Money, money, money. You know, like they all do. He had 3 horses in front of him. Jumped to second last. He took about 4 lengths out of the field. Right? Between the second last and the last, he hit the front. I'll never in my life forget it. I couldn't even, my voice and all was gone with the screaming. The jockey was sitting on the horse as if he only joined into the race. He was absolutely on. The jockey could have turned around, sat on the horse backwards. I made a roll up and smoked it. The horse was going that easy. Anyway, there was a sad story at the end. Whatever way he jumped the last fence, he was way out in front, pissing the race. Jumped the last fence, whatever way he landed. That was the end of him. Poor devil. I think he broke his neck or something. Now I got a nice few pounds off of the docket, but it was sad to lose the horse. But that's the story. You will tell me in the comments if you have 2, 3, 4 kids. That was a weird one. The 4 kids' names run on the same day. Sorry now for holding you up, but I think I deserve it after all the winners I'm after giving out. So anyway, we'll go back to the 5:15. Seeing that's what's on the laptop. I probably gave it to you already. I'll give it to you again. The 5:15. I did give it to you. 10 Carat Hardy. That's what started the whole fucking story. He's 8 to 1 each way. Yeah, 8 to 1 each way. Right. The last race for tomorrow at EPSOM. And thanks for listening if you did. It means a lot. All the new subs, everything, the comments. Love them. Keeps me going. I'm not making a halfpenny, remember. My channel's not monetized or anything like that. And like I said, I can't even afford to back a fucking horse, but I like picking them out and giving them to other people. That's just me. The 5:50, last race at EPSOM, I went for 2 biggies here. I went for number 3, the Angel King. Billy Loughnane again for Ian Williams. He is 16 to 1 each way. Again, I was just looking for horses that had anything to do with soft ground for tomorrow at EPSOM. So that's number 3, and then I went for number 5, Feblin Good. Veblen. That's why I always give the number of the horse as well, number 5. He's 18 to 1. Let me just check now and see he's still 18 to 1. Yep. So that's 3 and 5 in the last race at EPSOM. 16 to 1 and 18 to 1. 2 each ways. There's a 94 favourite in it. Dancing the Storm. Oisin Murphy. But look lads, they're just I'm starting to call them tips lately, right? Because they are tips. They're free tips. But back in your Pearl, I says it in every video, spend what you can afford. Don't spend the food money, the house money. Gamble responsibly, always. Always remember that. But in all fairness, it's serious going. Let alone the 7 winners today. 56 winners in my last 10 videos. Picking 2 meetings a day. You have to admit it, lads. Tis fair going for a lad that don't know a whole lot about horses, even though I'm backing them most of my life. But look, I'm after blowing the head off you for too long. Starting to stammer now again. Like I said, bet what you can, bet what you can afford. Gamble responsibly and never chase your money. And God bless you all and stay safe. And I hope you get a few winners tomorrow. And once again, Kenny from Tipperary, over and out. Thanks for listening.